Hi, I am Shakira McKnight, and I serve as the manager of the Mayor's Office of Youth and College Affairs. And I welcome you to the fourth and final episode of the Lead Academy Show for our first season. Yes, we are bringing season 1 to a close, and we're picking back up in the fall of this year, so stay tuned for that. On this episode of the Lead Academy, we are highlighting Barringer High School students. Today, we are joined by 3 students who are seniors at Barringer High School. Our first student is Harry Asensio, who is a carpentry student, Nassar Barian, who is our second student, who is attending Rutgers University in the fall, and Arman Singh, who is the third student, who is also attending Rutgers in the fall as well. Our topic of discussion today is creativity and imagination. And of course, our mayor will be co-hosting on this show today. How are you, Mayor?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Good, good. Are you ready for the last episode of the Lead Academy Show?
Let's go.
Let's go. Mayor, would you like to take the lead on welcoming our guest?
Absolutely. How are you? From this, Harry, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Harry on around. Introduce yourselves and tell us a little about where you're from and what you're doing.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. I'm Harry Asensio. I'm Barringer High School senior, obviously. I've been in carpentry for 3 years, and in the fall, I'm going to Williamson College of the Trades for carpentry.
Nice.
My name is Nassar Barringer. I'm the senior class president at Barringer High School. I'm 18 and I'm going to Rutgers, New York, majoring in accounting.
Nice.
My name is Arman Singh Ravish. I'm a senior at Barringer, and I'll be a freshman going to Rutgers, New Brunswick to major in aerospace engineering. And I've also been part of Barringer's extracurriculars like student council and robotics, which also tags along to my fun fact about myself that I love maths, and it's like a human language to me, similar to how English is for people.
Well, if you're going to do aerospace, you got to love some math. Right?
Definitely.
That's for sure. That's a good thing, especially because we're by the port. You know, the airport is here, so we need that.
Yes.
Wow, it is great to meet our awesome diverse group of Barringer High School seniors. One of the unique things about Barringer is that this is a high school that also partners with companies and organizations in Newark, such as McCarter and English, Lucas Construction Group, the Newark Police Division, Rutgers Law School, Cops for Kids, just to name a few. This high school also doubles as a trade school, where students have the option to learn a trade with the intention of entering the trade school after graduating and after college, or instead of college. This option gives our students the opportunity to be creative and to, of course, use their imagination. Mayor, can you share why you think that taking up a trade can be beneficial for high school students?
Well, I think trade is beneficial for anybody, actually. And I guess the earlier you get involved in the trade, the easier it'll become for you. You know, spend a lot of time doing specifically what it is that you want to do. It allows you to get right into your career immediately. And that's important, right? So you can come out of high school or come out of college already with a skill and are able to use that skill to make money for yourself and your family. It is clearly something you can fall back on and something you can build a career off of, whether it's aerospace engineering or carpentry or anything like that. It is all of these kind of skill sets are useful in society and always going to be necessary. So getting those skills are very, very, very important. I would add that right now that adding technology to that in some capacity would also help you advance whatever skill you have at a level that you'll be able to market your skill in a way that other people can't. Being able to do that. Plus, if you speak multiple languages, plus you have the technology background and do the skill, I think that getting a job for you will be a lot easier than most folks.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like each one of you to share how learning a trade or getting involved in extracurricular activities has enhanced your creative skills and how it has helped you use your imagination. We can begin with you, Harry.
Carpentry specifically helped me. Since I've been in it for 3 years, I've developed my skill enough that I could think outside the box, solve different problems with different different ways, multiple ways, if I have to.
Okay. How about you, Nassar?
The extracurricular activity that I'm in is Blue Bear Productions, which is the media for Barringer, which covers the newspaper, the YouTube, the radio station, all of that. And you have to have a good imagination to know what you want to record and what you want to put out for the school, and you have to have that planned out. And you got to be creative because you have to know how to edit the audio and edit the video, and know what kind of background music you want to put on it. You got to put all that together with a lot of time and planning to get it done how you wanted to get it done.
How about you, Armand?
As I mentioned previously, I was part of student council and robotics, so both of the organizations required us to be quick problem solvers so that we could keep our students happy and ensure that they feel happy being in the school. And in robotics, once you finish one problem, there's always another, so you always have to be a quick thinker. So both of the curriculars just made me a fast problem solver and also helped the community at the same time.
Mayor, I would like you to chime in here as well. In your previous career as a teacher, then a principal, I'm sure you've noticed the importance of developing a student's creativity and imagination. Can you expound on the importance of keeping the creative skills and imagination vibrant in the school setting, like you did at Central High School?
Well, I think imagination is really, well, I know imagination is really at the center of education. I mean, if you can't imagine something, you can't build it, you can't create it, you can't develop it. And so your vision and your ideas have to be engaged, and you have to be in an environment where people are always challenging you to think bigger, think wider, outside of what you already have at your disposal. And it takes good teachers and good staff and a good environment to foster that kind of balance for children. When you're a baby in elementary school and kindergarten, your imagination is so big. The problem is the older you get, your question marks turn into periods. And adults find answers to everything. And our job is not to find answers for you. It's just give you the drive so you can find answers for yourself. And in your quest to find answers, you also find other questions, right? And it keeps you hungry. Once you're not hungry anymore and you think you know everything, then you start going backwards. And so the environment has to be set where you're always hungry for information and knowledge.
Thank you for that, Mayor. I know you are an expert in the education field since you've worked in that genre for many years and was my principal as well.
Oh.
Of course, we're entering into the summer months, and we're looking forward to practicing a fun and safe summer. Don't forget to use the hashtag SafeSummer2K21 on social media. In Newark, we want to stay safe, but I would like to know from you seniors, how do you plan to spend your summer? We'll start with you, Harry.
This summer, I'm planning to expand my skill by working with my dad. He's also a carpenter, so I'm trying to expand my skill with him, and then try to pay for my college expenses.
Okay, that's dope. Working with Dad.
This summer, I'm not gonna do anything different or change anything because I did what I had to do to get this far. I don't want to overthink nothing and mess myself up for the future. So I'm gonna just keep the same work ethic and my own personal time to have a good mental capacity and not overthink nothing going into my freshman year in college.
That's dope. How about you, Mama?
So for the summer, I plan to take a break since it's the end of high school years for me. And after that, around mid-August, I plan to contact my professors and just catch up on what their expectations are for the classes they're going to teach.
Taking a break is important.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
So I just want you to know that. Don't feel like that's not important.
Yes.
know.
Thanks, Armand. Now, Nassar, can you answer the same question? How are you preparing for your first year of college, and how do you plan to stay creative during that process?
As I just mentioned, I'm gonna stay doing what I've been doing to get me this far, and I'm gonna stay true to myself because I know who I am and I know what I want to be. So I'm gonna continue to do that on my way to college and get better as the years progress.
Okay. That's awesome, everyone. Wow, so much creativity and imagination in one group. Since you are all seniors at Barringer High School, I have a general question for each of you to quickly answer. Why should middle school students consider Barringer High School as an option entering into high school? And we can start with you, Nassar.
Aside from all the trades that we offer and career-based things that the middle schoolers can do in high school. We also have a great principal. He's not just an office kind of guy. He gets everyone to know him, and everybody's comfortable with the principal, and he makes his presence known and like makes you feel welcome in his school. Shout out to Dr. Aviles.
I like it.
For myself, I have a younger sister, so I tell her these things like, as Nassar said, we offer a lot of trades, so like carpentry or media production, arts, playing instruments, all of them. I think they're a good way to introduce the new kids to careers they might find out about later in college. So it's better they know about in high school so that they're prepared for college and what they want to pursue.
Okay. How about you, Harry?
Like Arman said, we have a lot of career options and electives and stuff like that. And then carpentry, which is a co-ed, right? The teachers, Mr. Gulano, he helps everyone try to get into a union or trade school if they want to, girls and boys.
Okay, that's dope. So we're sitting here, I'm sitting here as the only girl, but girls can be involved in carpentry and construction also, right? Yeah. All right, thanks. So do either of you have a question for Mayor Baraka? And we'll start with you, Arman.
I want to say I'm really intrigued by the new Hope Village project you started. And I want to ask how you plan to power it, like what energy source you plan to use so that it benefits the project itself and the community around it.
Well, it's tied into the grid, so it uses the same as any other household we use. You know, it's tied into PSE&G, it's tied into the water and sewer lines here, so it's directly tied into the infrastructure of the city. We are contemplating doing some solar around it as well, but as we expand, because we're going to open up at least 2 or 3 more, because it's very, very cheap using a container home material, and it's durable too, and so it heats up, it cools off, so it's good material.
And in partnership with those New Hope Village projects, the new ones that we look to build, we look to have students be in partnership to help build those. So we're speaking to partners like Youth Build and other organizations to make sure we keep our students involved in that process. How about you, Nassar? Do you have a question for Mayor Baraka?
On the topic of creativity and imagination, do you plan on having anything get open for the youth to help them with their imagination and creativity, such as like summer camps or recreational centers?
Yeah, thank God we'll be reopening everything this summer, and you know, we're trying to be as cautious as we could, but everything is opening up. We'll, you know, the summer before last, we had a group of kids go up to the water shed up there, learning about the chemicals in the water, how to treat the water, how all of that. So they learned the infrastructure process. So all kinds of things like that will begin to happen again. You know, Newark has a lot of property, a lot of land outside of the city that many people don't know about. And, you know, we use that. The Youth in College has a summer camp for people overnight. You know, is a myriad of things that we do. And I'm just excited about being able to start these back up again.
How about you, Harry?
This is extending on what you said about the students helping out with the New Hope Village. Do you think we could get students from Barringer High School, the carpentry kids, to try to renovate it and help out with it?
Sure, absolutely. I think that's something that we need to make happen. Because it's just not the containers. We do a whole village. You know, you have the outside, we have tables, we have all kind of, you know, we make it into a little community. And artists come and paint it and make it look presentable, and it's a nice place. So. And I think it's a good idea to have you guys. You might think of some stuff we didn't think of.
Well, that wraps up the final episode for season 1 of the Lead Academy show. This is the time we would like to give our final thank yous to our students from Barringer High School, Harry, Nassar, and Armand. And we would also like to give a shout out to the administration from Barringer High School for helping us bring these students to this platform. Thank you, Mayor, for finding the time in your schedule to join us every episode And thank you for premiering with us this month. We look forward to airing this episode June 19th on Juneteenth, which is a beautiful holiday to be celebrated in the city. Outside of that, happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. We love you, we support you, and we wish you well. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Newark Youth College Affairs and follow the city website so that you can keep up with the Lead Academy show. In addition to that, you can check out our Newark Safe Summer video that we kicked off March 22nd in the Central Ward, and we look forward to kicking them off in each ward with students and community organizations for youth. So we thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you next season. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Keep up the great work.